There we go. So, hi everybody. Hopefully you're all doing well. This is our Tuesday night full opportunity webinar. My name is Lisa Huey. My husband, Michael Huey, and I are Pro 7s with LifeVantage, and we're excited to have you all here. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pull up the slides. Open. There we go. So there is just a little bit about ourselves. Actually, we need to put our new logo up here. I just realized that's the old logo for Hefluence. So I just recently retired as a full-time RN, specializing in open heart surgery, cardiac intensive care, the cardiovascular OR. Yes, I like ice cream. My husband and I love to travel. He graduated from The Ohio State University as an ACE, or American Council of Exercise certified trainer. He actually used to go around the country teaching CEUs for ACE. And those pills down there on the bottom is kind of like what we used to do as far as supplementation goes. So we're just going to kind of start off with the question of, do you remember where you were September 4th of 1998? What did you use when you were looking to find information prior to that? We didn't quite have a thing such as Google born just yet. September 4th, 98 is Google's birthday. And prior to Google, we used to have to physically go to places called a library to find research information. Or sometimes with Yahoo, they had some tabs up at the top you would try to get research done. So Google has transformed the search industry. And just a little thing about Google, it is a search engine, not a research engine, okay? How can I move these guys? Sorry, this gets big and blocks my view. All right, there we go. So Google is now the world's most valuable brand. And according to the new study, it snags the spot from Apple. Google and Apple have been going back and forth for topping the nation or the industry's top brand. And their finances for it are insane. As you can see there down on the bottom, over $109 billion. Is that crazy or what? Okay, why can't I move my slide over? So it doesn't look like we have any guests on the line here watching. So I'm going to skip over this video unless somebody right now kind of quote unquote raises their hand or puts a comment in the chat box that they are a guest and they need to see this video. Otherwise, you can get it from the person that invited you online to watch this webinar as well. So we'll just go ahead and skip on over that then, because I didn't see nobody.
The following is an ABC primetime.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about biohacking. And the thing is, if you're not biohacking your body's being hijacked. And the difference is, here's the definition of biohacking. It's the science of optimizing your body, mind, and performance through systems, thinking, biology, and technology, or the art and science of becoming superhuman, all right? Talk a little bit about people who suffer from inflammation, low energy, bloating. Nutrigenomics is the solution, and nutrigenomics is the way or the means of biohacking our cellular biology. It's time to start hacking your health, taking it back from those crazy things such as oxidative stress, inflammation, disease, all that stuff that actually hijacks our bodies into performing in ways that are not optimal in any way, shape, or form. So I just mentioned oxidative stress. You ask, what is oxidative stress and why should you care? Oxidative stress is basically, if you see the little part of the diagram on the left-hand side of the screen with that apple, when you cut into the apple and it gets exposed to the air or to oxygen, it becomes oxidized, or oxidative stress begins to occur. okay? Things that affect our bodies that cause oxidative stress are displayed by those images there. You know, water we drink, water we bathe in, exercise in and of itself. Yes, exercise is good. I'm not here to tell you do not do it, but exercise in and of itself also causes oxidative stress. Pollution from factories, the air that we breathe, fumes from the gas pump, batteries, cell phones, microwaves, all of that stuff actually does cause oxidative stress to our bodies from within. And why should you care? Because oxidative stress is what is linked to pretty much every disease process. On the right-hand side of the slide there, you can see hypertension, myocardial infarct, which is an MI, or the medical term for a heart attack, congestive heart failure, skin diseases, kidney diseases, rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, psoriatic arthritis, things like that are extreme inflammatory processes. Asthma, COPD, lupus, migraine, strokes, all of that stuff, diabetes, and quote-unquote chronic fatigue. They are all the result of free radical damage, which is damaging the cells on the inside down at that cellular microscopic level because of oxidative stress. And if you're not so sure that it's such a big deal, oxidative stress and free radical damage, just take a look at some of these prestigious and well-known universities and associations that are actually studying the products that we have in order to combat oxidative stress. The American Heart Association, the Ohio State University, Virginia Commonwealth, Harvard, you know, all of these places, the NIA, the National Institute on Aging. These are pretty powerful things and powerful universities and bodies, governing bodies even, to be wanting to study. And they're the ones that say that things such as our products reduce oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. Also, if you don't necessarily believe me, you don't necessarily believe the fact that all these universities are studying it, you can go and do your actual research on this website here listed, pubmed.gov. It is the National Institute of Health library of all peer-reviewed publications relating to any kind of disease, any kind of quote-unquote supplement, things like that. You go here and you type in Protandim and the disease process and you see a link to it. Suffice it to say that by addressing that or bridging the gap, your disease process could hopefully be not nearly as destructive to the body. All natural products here have patents on our Nrf2, which is the flagship product, Protandim Nrf2 in there. And you'll see all these research studies that have been, quote, peer-reviewed, meaning you can't just publish a study and say, yeah, these are my findings. It actually goes through a governing body of peers that are the same as those who performed the study itself. And they independently basically take a fine-tooth comb through that study, validating the fact that it was done with integrity and those results are appropriately claimed. So, the solution for reducing oxidative stress, all right? We used to think that the supplementation industry was good enough. It's still good, just not good enough. By taking direct antioxidants, it basically only works on a one-to-one basis to attack those free radicals that attack our cells down at that cellular level. However, with Nrf2 activation, it turns on our body's own production of survival enzymes, things that will combat that oxidative stress at a 1 to 1 million ratio. And that's 1 to 1 million every second of every day. So would you prefer that 1-to-1 guessing game by taking your blueberries, strawberries, acai berries, all those good things, but they only really work on a very minute scale compared to activating our body to turn on its own antioxidant enzymes. Here is something that Washington State had actually published in their article that says Nrf2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That's powerful. LifeVantage didn't say that. I didn't say that. Washington State said that. And I'm going to read it again because that's how powerful I believe it is. NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. I think the last time a statement like that was said was about penicillin when that was discovered as the antibiotic. Multiple Sclerosis Journal. This company here was actually doing a study comparing their, at the time, investigational drug, which was called BG12, and its effects on helping people with multiple sclerosis. All right, this is Biogenetic, was the name of the company, and this was them themselves comparing their investigational drug to our Protandim NRF2 activator. And according to their research, it's highlighted here, bold print here. Interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy for MS. Now, of course, it's very difficult to get a hold of all of this stuff because, needless to say, they didn't really like the results of their own research. But personally, I love it. Our Protandim NRF2 activator is NSF approved, BSCG approved. The National Institute on Aging approved it and actually made the statement that it helps people live longer and healthier lives. Right, somebody is on the line, not, whoops, muted. So let me see if I can't quickly figure out who that is and mute you. Stacy, it looks like. Okay, there we go. All right, awesome. Sorry about that. Thanks, guys. So these are powerful statements. The benefits of NRF2, again, being the only quote-unquote supplement, and it's only called a supplement because it is not a prescription drug. It is not a pharmaceutical. It is a nutraceutical. All right, and it helps to regulate our body's survival genes right down to that cellular level. Our next little, I shouldn't say little, but our next powerful product is addressing mitochondrial dysfunction, our NRF1 activator, Protandim. Mitochondrial dysfunction, the mitochondria, just a very quick and brief science or biology lesson here. Mitochondria is what causes our cells to have energy. It converts the foods that we eat into ATP for cellular energy, giving us physical energy as well. Poor mitochondria, let me see who's chatting. Oh, actually I had two Stacys on there, but that's okay, no worries, thanks, sorry about that. Poor mitochondrial function is related to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, again, diabetes, cancer, muscular dystrophy, autism, cardiomyopathy, fibromyalgia. All these diseases are also linked to poor mitochondrial health. And by activating the NRF1 pathway, it increases our cellular energy, improving performance through energy production, enhancing cellular health, which in turn improves sleep quality, promoting cellular repair, boosting mitochondria production as well. So not only does it repair our existing mitochondria, it actually boosts or creates new mitochondria. And it slows down that cellular aging by supporting the chromosomal integrity. Probiotics, our gut, are huge. Now the research is saying that our GI tract or our gut health is actually called, quote unquote, our second brain. So much they're discovering comes from an imbalance of our gut biome or the bacteria that lives within our GI tract and our gut. Things such as sinus, joints, inflammation, adrenal fatigue, irritable bowel, colon, leaky gut, thyroid issues, skin diseases, all of this stuff comes and stems from our gut. And a little side note on gut health and its importance, I had a rash on my face and didn't know what it was, went to a physician, gave me, antiviral, antibiotics, gave me some topicals, thinking, oh, well, maybe it was that herpes virus. I had chickenpox as a kid, and maybe it's the herpes virus that's causing a rash on my face. And my chiropractor, Dr. John, he is the one who actually says it's coming from your gut. He did a test and discovered that it was an overgrowth of a very specific bacteria in my gut. And so by taking care of what was going on in my GI tract, my skin improved. All right. So that's just my own little personal quote unquote testimony. So why do we care? Why did LifeVantage create ProBio with only 6 billion CFUs of the bacteria to get into the gut, when if you look over the counter and the shelves, they have, in the hundreds of billions of CFUs? That's because it gets into the GI tract. So we don't need that much. Everything over the counter, basically, it is essentially, I hate to use the word useless, but is not as effective, because statistically, the majority of these bacteria that we need, that we're trying to get into the upper and lower intestine where they actually need to work, they don't survive that stomach acid. And so ProBio is actually coated with a BioTrack technology, and also has an immune booster called Wellmune in it to support our digestion and increase our immune systems as well. And so only 4% up to 60% of that bacteria gets truly down into the GI tract versus like the 4% with standard probiotics. Plus it also has a prebio as well. Our Omega Plus is an amazing blend of fatty acids, the omega-3, the omega-7, and vitamin D. And just interestingly enough for you, omega-7 actually helps with weight management, improving metabolism. The Omega Plus is traceable from boat to bottle. It sustains brain and heart, as well as immune system functions. And what's really good about that is when you open up the Omega Plus, you do not get that fishy smell that you do with a lot of fish oils or krill oils and stuff. And that speaks to the purity of the omegas that are actually in there. Another part of our amazing products and the science of the NRF2 activation is our True Science skincare regimen, starting with a cleanse, a perfecting lotion, eye serum, and then the anti-aging facial cream. And this system, it's complete. All 4 products actually is what is patented, the skincare line. And as you can see with this lady, after just 60 days of using the skincare system, that there's a decrease in the appearance of her lines and wrinkles on her face. Taking that wonderful NRF2 science, LifeVantage developed a amazing, somewhat addictive, if you ask me, to my husband's energy drink. Hang on one second here. Somebody is not muted again. Whoopsies. Here we go. Manage participants. Mute all. Continue. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Let me get back to this. My Axios slide. There we go. So Axio comes in 2 different basic formulas, one with caffeine and one without caffeine. And it is basically brain fuel. It is amazing. And if you look at the part of the slide on the right-hand side before NRF2 and Axio, you can see this writing of this 9-year-old little boy that was suffering with, his grades. You can tell he doesn't spell very appropriately. It's very sloppy and crooked. Oops, let's just go away. I didn't mean to open up Skype before. All right. And then after only 1 week of being on NRF2 activation, Protandim, and Axio, that young boy, that 9-year-old, you can look at his writing. It's like it transformed him. Grades improved and everything. All right, let's see here, go next slide. And then we also have our weight management system with Physique. Physique consists of the ProBio, which I already talked to you about, a gentle cleanse, a low-cal vanilla protein shake. And personally, I'm not a vanilla fan. However, I actually love this vanilla protein shake. Even with just plain water, mixing it in 8 ounces of water, it actually tastes good. But it's low cal because you can also add to it. Like I personally like to add a fruit and a vegetable to kind of increase that calorie content to act as an actual meal replacement then. And then the fat burn, physique fat burn, is actually targeted specifically for that visceral fat or that belly fat that's usually very difficult to burn away. And as you can see with this gentleman in the picture on the right-hand side there, in an only a 3-month period of using the physique system. And then, of course, people, when we first started with Protandim, were really giving it to their dogs because, as you know, dogs are man's best friend. People tend to care more about their pets than they do their own health. And the results that they were getting by giving the dogs the Protandim in human form were just amazing. So LifeVantage paired up with a pretty well-known veterinarian and developed Pet Tandem for dogs. And it includes stuff to help actually support the normal joint function, mobility, flexibility in the animals, their cognitive function, and also helps with their coat. So if you're sitting here and you're wondering, wow, these products are pretty amazing, and people start popping into your mind thinking, you know, so-and-so could benefit from this, somebody else I know can benefit from that product, we invite you to take a listen to this opportunity part or the business part of this little webinar. And we have basically 3 different packs or 3 different ways you can get involved as a business owner. And the Platinum pack, of course, comes with the most product. It's a sampling of all of the products. And then we have the Gold pack, which is a smaller portion of those products. And of course the Silver pack, which really isn't very much of anything. But I ask you, if you're opening up a grocery store, do you want to have just a very small selection for your patrons coming through? Or do you want to have fully stocked shelves? Not to mention the perks that are involved with the Platinum pack with the tickets to our corporate events. Pretty amazing. And with the Platinum pack as well, when you order and you become a distributor and begin to run your own business, it's also free shipping with that. And then these products here, these stacks for subscription, also automatically come with free shipping. So anything that you purchase not only with these stacks, you know, the True Science Skincare Regimen, the Vitality Stack, or the Vitality Travel Stack, comes with free shipping, but anything you add onto your order in addition. So the 4 pillars of health that we basically recommend treating is our, you know, NRF2 pathway with Protandim, NRF2 for our cellular health, the NRF1 for the mitochondrial health, the Omega for cardiovascular and neuro health, and then of course the ProBio for our gut health. Those are basically what I try to recommend to anybody who really want to take care of themselves and take care of their health. It's a very small investment for their health. And if you do decide that you want to become a business owner and join LifeVantage, you get paid 40% commission on your first order, whether that's bringing somebody in as a business partner or a brand new customer. That very first order, you automatically get paid 40% on. And then after that, it's an average of about 5% residual income month after month after month. Hence the beauty of the subscriptions. Who wouldn't want an additional income coming in, like mailbox money month after month, just for sharing these amazing products with your friends and family or strangers even? How do you get paid? You get a generational matching bonus based on, you know, your business partners that you bring in. So on your first leg, you get 10%, and they bring in somebody, you get 5% of their work. They bring in somebody, 5% on average down the line for 9 levels. And let's see, is this our most recent? I actually need to change this slide because it has been updated. Average compensation for our ranks, so to speak, when you first come in as a distributor before you bring in anybody else to kind of help you build your business, the average monthly pay is about $13 a month. But when you get here to like this Pro 4, Pro 3, Pro 4 levels, that is where people start to really make money. And honestly, when we had the whole housing market crash back in the early 2000s, they basically said that an additional $200 to $300 a month income would have saved a vast majority of those mortgages that actually went into foreclosure. You know, that $260 is, you know, car payments for some people, cell phone bills for the family. You know, how would you like to basically have your cell phone bill paid for the rest of your life, even, you know, just at that Pro 2 level? But then as you continue to move up the ranks, you bring in business partners, they bring in business partners, and you just go through duplicating. You know, get your customers, get potential prospects on webinars like this, on phone calls, sit down with them. The new person does not need to know all of these details. The new person needs to know who to hook you up with to share all of these details. But these are, again, monthly average incomes, all right? My husband and I, like I said, are in that Pro 7 range, and our enroller is in that Pro 8 range. What can you do for your family if you made over $10,000 a month, or $20,000 a month? You can do a lot. You can help a lot of people. If not your family, you know, I'm sure you've got passions, you know, nonprofit organizations, ministries, things like that. Take a peek at the time. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm doing good on time. Yay. Okay. The timing on getting involved in businesses. You know, you really want to get involved in that early adopter stage, in that second column here, before what is called momentum. Peter Drucker actually developed the S-curve of business that was taught. And basically, you know, in the very early time, the innovators, unfortunately, that's where a lot of businesses fail. They don't get past that 2 to 5 year mark. But then once they do, and they start to spread the word, and then they start to get branded, something called momentum happens. And you want to position yourself in that early adopter stage of getting involved with business, whether it's LifeVantage or something else. You know, it doesn't matter. You want to position yourself before that momentum actually begins to occur. Because once that wave hits, you want to be able to catch that wave, okay? And this is, I'm actually kind of combining Peter Drucker's S-curve of business with the innovators, adopters curve as well by Everett Rogers. And if you see that quote down at the bottom there, J. Paul Getty, he says that he would rather have 1% of the effort of 100 people than 100% of his own effort. Meaning, if you get a bunch of people to do a little bit of work all together, many hands make light work. It's much more effective. You don't really want to get involved once you're up here at the top. Peter Drucker called this part of it the stabilization phase, or here with Everett Rogers, it's referred to as the late majority or the laggers. You get involved here, but the opportunity is not nearly as sweet. So you really want to think about, when do you want to get involved with any kind of a business, but especially with this one. You don't really want to be like this boy here, standing on the shore or on the rock, watching his buddy out here riding that wave, because now it's too late for him. He can't quite catch up there to ride this wave. He's going to have to sit and wait and pray that he can get out before the next wave happens, right? So ABC, or the Good Morning, was it NBC, Good Morning Today show, talked about personalized health markets, and actually quoted Oliver Wyman in 2014 when he talked about nutrigenomics before people are ever even heard of nutrigenomics. We, as a company with LifeVantage, we coined that term, nutrigenomics, basically. We already are on the forefront of it. But they said that nutrigenomics is the scientific study of the interaction of nutrition and genes, and that they project by 2020 that this is going to be a $600 billion industry. $600 billion industry projected by 2020. I want to ask you a question. What year are we in right now? How much time do we have before we're stuck, unable to catch that wave? So I just want to thank you for getting on. Get back to the person that invited you to this presentation, whether you're watching it live or you end up watching the replay. I'm going to go ahead, stop sharing my screen here, and stop the recording. Yeah.